Hey, friends. I've been traveling since April of 2016. Um, Pretty exclusively, really traveling. Like, I haven't spent more than, let's say, 7 months at a time immobile. And very few times did I spend that much time immobile. And everywhere I go, it doesn't matter where, all the way from the interior of Iowa, the Ecuador, Miami, West Palm Beach, Chicago, Minneapolis, Montana, Butte, Montana, um, Las Vegas, Orange County, San Francisco, more places than this. Everywhere I go, Sacramento, somehow people recognize that I'm a seeker, or perhaps that I've found something, right? And on this path, and they see something different in me, so they come and talk to me, and they find that we feel very similar on things. Really, they're just recognizing themselves in me, is what is happening, right? Because if you go to a party full of all different types of people, let's say there's this room full of thousands of people, you're going to just find your group very easily. You recognize them very easily. It's just a vibrational thing, right? And so people are recognizing themselves in me. And so they're finding me and they're asking me, where are our people? Because I tell them I speak to people every day that say these same things, that believe these same things, that are following these same truths. And they ask me, where are our people? So I've been thinking about a lot about that, like, where are our people and why are people finding me, but in every city that I go to, in every place that I hang out in, it could be the park, it could be wherever, right? I've even met some famous people this way. It's very interesting. So, why are they coming to me and not to each other, like within the city, right? And I think here is part of the thing. I'm a very approachable person, first off. I get approached for money by every homeless person, every swindler, every hustler wants to speak to me because they see that I'm open and engaging with people. So I'm approached by many people, so I'm an open person to approach. And how do I do that? I make eye contact, I smile, and I say hello to people, I speak to people. Um, in some places in the US, that's common, in other places, that's very uncommon. And usually, like, say in San Francisco, people think that you want something from them if that's the case. And they're kind of amazed when you don't. Um, Anyways, so how do we find our people if we're not finding our people? The way we do that is by speaking our truth and living our truth. I only live my truth. My truth is all there is. There's nothing hidden, actually, about me. I am really open. Um, I'm really, really open. Someone once described me as very genuine. I would say that that's true. That is my intent. And so that helps people to feel comfortable to come to me. That helps people to be able to see who I am, actually. And people see the worst in me also, from the very beginning almost, because I'll let them know. And I say worst not because there's anything bad about me, but there are things that some think are unsavourable, and I want to attract the people that belong in my life and the people that don't belong in my life. And the only way that I can do that is to be 100% authentic to who I am. We live in a world where we cannot be 100% authentic in all situations, or at least it feels that way, and so there is a struggle. And perhaps for our own safety, at times we cannot be completely authentic. A really important part of this is realizing that at that point we're playing a role for a specific outcome, for a specific purpose, and that we don't adopt that role as necessarily who we are, but perhaps a part that we play from time to time. I don't say that lightly because that borders on the line, I think, of becoming somewhat psychopathic or some sort of personality disorder, maybe borderline personality, or even in my case in the past, I have been too chameleon-like, right? And not lived my truth enough to attract the people and really repel the people that I didn't want in my life. So part of our job is to repel the people that we don't want in our lives. And most of the people listening to this are empaths, or many. And empathetic people absorb people's energy, and sometimes to the point that we can't tell our own energy from those next to us. Um, this can be very confusing, especially in a very intimate relationship, a partner like spousal type relationship. So we do want to reject some people's energy, not the people, but the energy that they bring us, because we don't want that energy to become a part of us, or we don't want it to be a dominating energy in our lives. And I will tell you as an empath that that has been a challenge for me. Also, being empathetic and wanting to uh, share more openness and love and freedom to someone that I can see who is imprisoned makes it hard for, has made it hard for me in the past to reject some people's energy. And yet, the fact is that it's absolutely essential for a happy, fulfilling life. Because if our lives are full of chaotic energy that doesn't help us, that doesn't do us any good, that doesn't help us come to our higher selves, then there's not room for the energy that supports us in becoming our highest self. And the best thing that we can do for other people is to allow Spirit to help them, allow them, give them the opportunity to deal with their own karma. Many of us are teachers, but we're not everyone's teacher. And generally, the people that we want to teach are not the people that are going to listen to us. You know, I think it was Jesus that said, a prophet is never accepted in his own homeland. And so, when your family and friends reject your teaching, it's not that you didn't do something right. It's just not your job to teach them. They can't accept your teaching. They can't. Because you were probably a black sheep anyway. You probably are the black sheep. Maybe you're the scapegoat and the black sheep, or one or the other. I was certainly both. To the fact that my family and I are estranged. We have to be. And some people will tell you that that's a terrible thing. But don't listen. You know. You know if you need to be separated from your family or not. You know the level of health. You know. Some people's families will try to kill them literally. And that's the truth. So don't worry about other people's judgments about your decisions for your life. This is 100% your life. You get one shot to do this, one chance. I only get one chance, right? And this is your chance to make your mark, to tell your voice, to be the change in the world that you want in the world. Whatever you want to happen in this world, be it to the utmost of your ability and live it. And then the loneliness won't feel so lonely because you'll be doing what you were sent here to do, to be your truth, to be the truth that you desire to see in the world. That's our purpose, to be the truth that we desire to be in the world. Just be that truth. Live that truth. That's why it's important for us to go towards what we love, what we desire, what makes us happy. We'll never discover our truth. We'll never discover our purpose unless we do. The system counts on us never finding our purpose. The system counts on us never being fulfilled because the person that isn't fulfilled buys next year's model of iPhone, buys yet next year's model of Android, buys next year's car model, buys next year's clothing model. This shirt came from the Goodwill. I don't need next year's anything because everything I need is right here. Breath is life. Breath is always here. Everything I need is right here. There are people that can live off the energy of breath, the light, the oxygen, the air, the ground. They don't even eat. They're called breatharians. Don't get too caught up in that. It may decrease your faith if you're not able to believe. But there was a time where I thought I needed like 5,000 calories a day because I was trying to become big and muscular. And I did get that. And now I'm not big and muscular. And the FDA tells me that I need at least, 1,800, 2,000 calories a day. And there are weeks where I don't eat 2,000 calories a day. I'm sorry, there are weeks where I don't eat 2,000 calories in a week. I get barely any protein. I apparently get not enough B12. That's what they say, because I'm a vegetarian who doesn't eat eggs and eats very little cheese. And yet, I'm in the best health that I've ever been in. My body is getting younger, not older. So there are a lot of things that we believe, there are a lot of things that we're taught, there are a lot of things that you probably naturally want to reject but are afraid to because everyone else says this is the way. Well, I'm 45 years old. I've been to 18 different countries. I've traveled around this country. I've been at the top, the last corporate job I held. I wouldn't say I'm at the top or anything, but this was 7 years ago. I made over $100,000 a year. My housing was paid for, and I got a new rental car every 3 months. So I made it in a lot of ways, in a nice way, materialistically or corporately, and yet emotionally and spiritually, it was killing me. And then it started to affect my body. And so what we call success is not always success. And when people are telling you that you're not successful enough, look hard at what their definition of success is. Because there are billionaires that kill themselves. So monetary success is not the end-all be-all of everything. With $1 billion, you can literally have anything in this world at any time that you want it. You can even kill somebody and no one will ever know. If that's your thing. It's that extreme. Being a billionaire is extreme. There are billionaires that kill themselves. Think of that. When you can have anything at any time, you can even play God and even create a human, actually, or kill a human. You certainly probably own humans, unfortunately, and if you don't, you're an exceptional billionaire. Thank you. I hope that you do the world a lot of good. So the point is if you can be unhappy at what they call the top of success, unhappy enough to kill yourself, then the problem is never about how successful we are. It's how we feel about ourselves in our chakras, in our heads, in our necks, in our hearts, in our bellies, in our depths, and in our loins. Can we sit with ourselves in silence and find joy? If not, we should begin to learn to sit with ourselves in silence and find joy. Anything we spend time doing, we get better at. So we can spend time miserating, or we can spend time finding joy. I love you, friends. Find joy. Breathe in that beautiful oxygen.